Hello, everyone. So I have learned that a good way to prepare for AP Chemistry or to study AP Chemistry is to go through past FRQs or for response questions from past tests and then expand on them into what into the things you have to know. Not only the answer to the question, but an expansion to everything that's associated with that question. So I take one question, one part of one question, and I expand it into everything else that's involved. And so the first test that I'm going to go through with you is the 2019 test. Now we and the question, it's a first question, 1A. Now the question simply goes, what is the hybridization of the carbon atom in this molecule? And the students that I work with, sort of get a kick out of the sort of long lecture that I then do. But I'm going to cover everything that you need to know about hybridization, bond angles, and the name of the bonds. So I just want to cover something here. A lot of teachers are covering more than what we're about to cover. So I just want to show you why the only thing we're going to cover is SP1, SP2, and SP3, or angles 180, 120, and 109.5. Now, you might learn in class trigonobipyramidal, octahedral, bent, seesaw, or whatever. All that is not tested on the AP test. And this started in 2014. I just want to show you evidence of that because students tend to be sort of surprised. I made the mistake of teaching that as well. But here, so I'll move it so my video's not in the way. But like the only thing that is tested is SP 120, 180, and 109.5. So SP2, SP, and SP3. That is it. That's the only thing that is tested on the test. So here we go. And it says it over here on the left too, but the SP, SP2, and SP3. Okay, whatever. So hopefully you believe me by now. But anyways, it goes, the compound urea, blah, 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 is widely known as used in chemical fertilizers. The complete electron Lewis dot diagram for the urea molecule shown above identify the hybridization. So you have to know three things, like I mentioned before. You have to know SP1 or SP, SP2, and SP3. Now, what my students like to do is they would put like a little 1 on that. And they would add up on the S's, and they would add up them. So 1 plus 1 is 2, 1 plus 2 is 3, 1 plus 3 is 4. And whatever that adds up to is the hybridization of that atom when it comes to total bonds on it. So we're looking at the carbon. So let's look at that carbon right there. And that carbon has a double bond counts as 1, just like a lone pair counts as 1. The carbon has 1, 2, 3 bonds on it. So I'll erase that and count for yourself. 1, 2, 3. So it has 3 things bonded to that. And therefore, we know that it's sp2. Now that's the answer to the question. But I want to cover, like I said, I want to cover everything that this question could possibly ask, and everything that is associated with the question that past tests, especially since 2014, have asked. So hybridization. Now the other thing that it will ask for is something called bond angle, which the bond angle is oh, I should have brought my little thingies. Yeah, I don't know. All right, I'm going to take it. All right, so the bond angles, SP1 or just SP, two things. Remember, 1 plus 1 is 2. Now, this is an SP molecule. So we have two things bonded on that. And if you were to guess the angle of these bonds, think of this as flat, like this, I guess. You would, I guess, you might guess 180. And that's what the answer is. And keep in mind, for at least AP, if you're in college chem, you know, that's going to be different. But even if you're in college chem, just understanding these is the most important ones. The bond angle is 180 for SP1. Now let's look at SP2. Like the carbon in this molecule, so let's look at this. Now if you were to guess this bond angle, it is 120. So for AP Chem, you might be learning that these lone pair electrons push these bonds away. You do not need to know that for AP Chem. Just stick with the 180, 120, and 109.5. And if you're in college chem, again, understand the basics is the key to it. Now the last one, we got SP3, 4 things attached to it. Now this one here, a lot of students say straight out 90 because it looks like there's 4 things. But this is a 3-dimensional figure, so that ends up being 109.5. Maybe or 109 is even fine, but 109.5 degrees. All right. Now, the last thing it's going to possibly ask you is the name of it. And like I mentioned earlier, at least for AP Chemistry, that I'm sorry, not tetrahedral, but trigonal, bipyramidal, pyramidal, seesaw, octahedral, all that is not asked on the test, and it's limited to three. So 180 is linear. 120 is trigonal planar. And 109.5 is tetrahedral. Now, why do they limit it to that? Because they don't go beyond the octet rule. Like, even in college chem, you generally just stick to the ones that match the octet rule. And then I think that planar teaches you that it's a flat molecule. So something that's planar is flat. A lot of things are linear, and then a ton of things are tetrahedral. So just knowing those really helps the student understand the hybridization, bond angles, and names of these. Okay, thank you. I'll put up more videos soon. This, again, is covering everything that the AP Chemistry test has asked since 2014. And all right, thank you.